a gala event to bridge people, process and products with technology. The inaugural edition of the Digital Transformation or the DX Summit and Awards 2019 was organized recently in the capital city of India by the CII-Tata Communications Centre for Digital Transformation. The DX Summit and Awards is an exclusively designed platform which is aimed at bringing together the CXOs, industry leaders, international experts, innovators and IT experts from various domains to deliberate upon the importance of cutting-edge technologies revolutionizing their respective streams. The summit was flagged off with the keynote address by Amit Sinha, Vice President Marketing, Tata Communications.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here. Digital transformation is no longer an option, but a necessity. Yet the means to catapult our organizations through this transformation are unclear. And the support system to do so sometimes seems nebulous. That's where the CII-Tata Communications Centre for Digital Transformation steps in. With the Centre for Digital Transformation, we are on a mission to evolve and leverage a digital transformation movement that transforms India by building systems of intelligence, by bringing in more personal computing, helping organizations adopt and adapt to the intelligent cloud and reinvent their productivity and business processes, thereby enhancing their effectiveness and inclusive growth. At CDT, we help organizations connect with processes, models, and people to take complete advantage of a wide variety of digital technologies and innovations.
What I'm going to talk about today is the other side of Digital India, what I call Digital India by senses. It's the softer side of Digital India, but one that is no less important. In fact, I would say if not equally important, it's even more important than Digital India by numbers. And these are the hundreds and thousands of stories that is coming out from across India, that's evolving from across India about transformations at individual levels, and that some of the individuals is far bigger and the impact it has on India is absolutely transformational. And these stories, the soft power of India, they need to be heard. They need to be heard. They need to be recognized because these are the stories that's changing India by day. The first story is about a mother with a very young son who suffers from epilepsy. Her name, Rajlakshmi Borthakur. I met Rajlakshmi when she was a young mother, extremely frustrated because she was running from pillar to post, contacting every doctor she could find, just with one question: can you help me detect an epilepsy fit before the fit happens? She started studying neurology to understand what are the markers that can help you detect a fit. Second thing she did, she started studying technology. And today, Raji is an entrepreneur who has a technical startup called Terra Blue, if I'm not wrong. And they have successfully prototyped a wearable device called TJ that can help you detect an epilepsy fit before it happens. Pretty much, I think they track the patient's blood pressure and pulse rate. To me, ladies and gentlemen, this is Digital India. This is the transformation that India is going through. It's the individual mindset. And what are we seeing today? We are seeing the growth of a new kind of thinking in India.
Digital technologies suddenly give us the opportunity to actually get ourselves almost on par with our counterpart industries anywhere in the world. And suddenly India has a very sweet spot, very beautiful opportunity. Why? Because in India about 5 or 6 factors are there which are tremendously encouraging. One, strong IT services companies, some of the finest in the world. Number 2, many companies which are still small, but the green shoots are very clearly visible. Companies that are moving into IT products, into software products. 3, global technology companies, almost in every sector, especially in IT and in electronics. I think there is no major global ICT company or electronics company which does not have a significant presence today in India. And many of their products and services for the globe are increasingly contributed to by their captive centers within India, which means again it is Indian talent which is working on those. So there's suddenly from products which were designed and used to come from Silicon Valley or from somewhere, and we are only good consumers, and we became so good at consuming them, we helped the entire world to consume them.
The summit also launched an innovation zone where the champions of the industry had an opportunity to look into the future of innovative technologies being offered. The innovation zone consisted of Cyber Clinic. Tata Communications showcased their managed security services offerings and gave the visitors a virtual tour of the Cyber Security Response Centre in Chennai. Standalone booths for the partners of the centre. Tata Communications showcasing their cloud services and products, Dell and Midcat Advisory showing their offerings at their respective booths.
We've been working on various areas in which how digital can actually help and transform the Indian companies. More importantly, the companies which are at the mid segment, so that they can all move ahead. As a country, how we can actually leverage digital to make an impact.
Next in line were some thought-provoking presentations, especially curated by the top enterprises who've adopted the best practices to transform their businesses. These presentations were made by the most promising companies chosen by the jury after a very stringent process. Here are some snapshots.
This is the first of its kind model that focused on primary care provision over digital healthcare.
Create a platform, a portal dedicated to employee volunteering.
We have to invest in cutting-edge technologies, mainly in 4 areas: robotics, big data, AI, blockchain.
As we see the presentations, it's clear that everybody is enthusiastic about it. Some people have done a part of, one part of problem solving. It could be customer, it could be employee, it could be, some other part of the business. Some others have taken a much bigger view, and nevertheless, it's very interesting to see that people are taking up digital transformation in a big way.
The CII-CDT has formulated 7 essential commandments as a part of the digital transformation movement, DX movement, which every company across sectors must join to transform their business. This movement was led by Chris Gopalakrishnan, co-founder of Infosys, who took the pledge by signing first. This was followed by all attendees signing the DX movement, pledging their allegiance to digitally transforming their organizations. The next in line was the launch of DXL, the assessment tool of CII-CDT to help companies assess their global competitiveness based on where they lie on their DX readiness journey, offering significant business benefits as well.
As a part of the vision for the CDT and to align to the principles of achieving a digital India, the 4 key foundation blocks on which the CDT will work on are really built around the following. First is really digital assessment, or the tool that we have launched today, which is really the DXL tool. It is to help organizations understand where they are in their digital transformation journey. The second one is around skill and skill upgrade. And skill and people is a very core building block to any transformation, not just digital transformation. So this track will really focus on skill gaps, identifying them, and skill upgrade, as well as a very important aspect around culture. And culture plays a very important role in driving transformation as well. The third gap is really around cybersecurity. And as digital transformation will get more and more embedded into every organization in India, the focus on driving cybersecurity, the rules, the policies, and the model of engagement is going to be an area of high focus. This is where I think Tata Communications themselves can play a very active role and will work with and through the CDT in helping organizations drive a much more stronger cybersecurity policy for themselves. And finally, the fourth one is around outreach and awareness. And the outreach and awareness is really about letting organizations understand, both small, mid and large organizations understand the role that digital transformation is going to do to their businesses, the impact that digital transformation will make to their industries, to their companies, and the need for them to not just looking digital, but by actually being digital.
The Center for Digital Transformation has been a phenomenal recommendation from CII to start off. When it comes to the national level scalability model of this center is multifold. One of them is very much in the interest of the country, which has a 6 crore MSMEs. The challenges in terms of diversity is huge. One of them is to reach out to the MSMEs across the sectors, industry sectors, as well as the regionals, to make sure that the CII regional councils are constantly tapped. And we have an intention to scale up to the needs of the country by tapping the regional councils of the CII through the CDT.
Digital transformation overall, as we understand in Center for Digital Technologies, stands for a transformation of business, overall business and how it works, how the business model, how the business environment, how the customer getting treated, and the impact of that using digital technologies. We believe that the benefit which an organization will get will be multifold compared to what would happen if it was just plain digitization or digitalization, as I call, where you have only one or few processes implemented.
This is actually a brilliant initiative that has been created by CII. See, today what is important is that a country progresses only when all the companies work on and leverage digital to be able to create an ecosystem of benefits for the larger set of stakeholders. And in this, CII has taken this lead and brought together a set of people who are very passionately involved in digital across in various organizations, and our role is actually to evangelize, educate, propagate and make people aware of the need for digital transformation within their organization. And in this, of course, we do a number of activities to be able to make this happen. There is training, there is sharing of best practices. It also talks about benchmarking with companies. These are some of the initiatives that we are doing.
The digital world is taking over us, and digital is about the new technologies coming in. Digital is about how business models are changing. Digital is about moving to this new customer experience that people want. Digital actually is a bit of a mindset more than anything else. And so for SMEs, especially in this country as in other countries, they need to start embracing these new technologies and these new business models and how they can provide new ways of customer experience using these digital tools and technologies. Many times it's difficult because there's so many coming, and sometimes you think that it'll be very expensive. But the good thing about these technologies is that you can actually do very fast, cheap POC kind of experiments. And so what I would urge SMEs to do is in their area to pick out the problems and then look at the technologies which can address them and start doing some quick experiments so that if it works, they will get differentiated from the rest of the pack.
Digital transformation starts with the top management and leaders in any organization as it drives the business growth manifold. Let's look at how one such business got together and deliberated on the topic of Leadership Connect, the management matters, in the panel discussion moderated by Amit Sinha Roy.
Industries on digital transformation, leadership intent has been highlighted as one of the main drivers for an organization's successful strides in its digital transformation journey. The pervasive nature of digital transformation requires an organization's leadership to strategically identify key challenges which may not have any precedence and deploy requisite solutions to drive the organizations to the next phase of transformation. So with that, let me just start with Ms. Uma Ganesh, if you'd like to spend a few minutes on your opening thoughts.
Digital transformation is all about getting people to accept the change and do things differently. Now, this is, as all of us know, easier said than done. And particularly, we found that organizations that we work with have always had this fundamental issue. How do we actually go ahead and make this happen? And how do we justify the return on investment? Because we can call for training programs, we can set up the change management initiatives. But if people do not come forward, or even if they come forward, they do not figure out why they should do this for themselves, then this transformation journey is going to be incomplete.
Vikram, would you like to share your opening thoughts?
From a day when there was no X-ray to the day when there are X-rays to the day when we are handling MRI, CT scans on an everyday basis. Now, if any of us goes to a doctor with a chest pain and a doctor says, okay, take this tab and go back, we worry whether he really did know what he's doing because he did not take an X-ray, he did not take an ECG. So this is again what we understand, that the digitalization and the digital transformation in healthcare has been little more intrigued and a little more soaked into the system.
Well, it takes years for an organization and its people to fully embrace such fundamental changes in the way they operate. So change management, it becomes a big issue and is by far, the biggest bottleneck in rolling out digital transformation successfully. So what advice would you give to the audience here who are going through this change management process, in the quest of digital transformation?
That the change management from this level to this level will not happen overnight, no matter what you do. It is a gradual process, and the process has to be seen. The back-end processes may happen overnight. So when you're interfacing with a user or you're interfacing with an employee, you give him efficiency by bringing in digital technology in the back-end processes. But let him continue to do the things the way he has been used to doing, and then gradually win him over.
The first step is identifying the business case for transformation. Could you please share how you are addressing this in your organization?
There are a lot of challenges that are there. For example, if you take a company like us, Tata Chemicals, we are a manufacturing organization, and a big part of our value chain is in manufacturing factories. We do make soda ash, we make sodium bicarbonate, we make crop protection chemicals. So a big part of our value chain is in manufacturing. So what are the problems? What we do is that we said, you look at what are the business problems that you face. How do you improve your efficiency of manufacturing? How do you reduce the downtime of your machines? So you start from that and then start looking at how do you actually bring in technology to be able to solve those problems by using, predictive systems, using technologies like artificial intelligence. One of the things that we are also exploring is that how do you use VR to train people. In fact, yesterday we had one of the teams talking about using VR for repairing those panels. So these are some of the ways in which actually we are addressing this.
The next session highlighted the experiences of some of the CTOs and CIOs, along with some case studies on strategies that worked and some that did not, in order to share the enablers for successful digital transformation. Here are some key takeaways from the session.
Digital transformation is not an option. The journey to transformation is also not an option. The only option is speed of your journey, and Dexel as a maturity model is a vehicle for that kind of a journey. We heard few equations today. One of them is E equal to MC square. Excellence is based on the change of mindset and as well as the commitment by the individuals, by the leaders within the organization and across the entire corporate. Transformation is at individual level, enterprise level, and government level, and he was able to articulate what can be done through the collaboration between the industry and government. India's economy is all the way set to go and grow till $10 trillion.
Names which I call are purely in alphabetical order, innovative best practices.
The DX Summit also curated an award ceremony which aimed to celebrate the journey of some of the well-known leaders in the field of digital transformation and recognize the best practices as DX Awards.
Tata SIA Airlines Limited.
17 winners were selected out of 112 entries. The awards were given in the categories of Innovative Best Practice and Most Innovative Best Practice.
You know, it's exciting to see this type of a moment which has been led by CII and Tata Communications. So far, we have seen some really good ideas, and they are repeatable. They can be used as inspiration by other companies in the country.
As we look ahead, I think the year ahead is going to be shaped on what we've achieved this year, which is really culminated into the awards that we are presenting today. I think even for the awards, the companies that participated, the companies that were rewarded are a great example of what actually India Inc. is doing. I think the opportunity for us to strengthen the work that we have done last year, work more closely with large, small and medium enterprises and help them achieve their digital transformation journeys is an area that we will accelerate in the year ahead.